Muted.
Today what we're going to be going over during this session is the standard SnapStream navigation. We're going to talk about the SnapStream software, what the SnapStream is, how it works, how you can use it to watch recordings as well as search recordings, set up TV alerts for recordings on your SnapStream, as well as creating clips, cloud sharing those clips, sharing them with anybody that you need to share them with. As well as the social media functionality of the SnapStream software. We're going to be going over a lot today, but if you have any specific questions that are specific to your workflow or specific about how you may be using SnapStream at your organization, I ask you to absolutely please send in any questions you have using the GoToWebinar application. My colleagues are standing by to answer any questions that you have. So please consider sending those in now. It actually pushes our conversation along as well. So with that, I'm going to jump right into the SnapStream software. The system that I'm going to be demoing today is on the SnapStream network. It's recording about 30 channels right now. It does that via the guide. And we have all kinds of systems out in the field, depending on what your system is that you have at your organization. It could be recording anywhere from 2 channels all the way up to 50, 60, 70. It just depends on what the system is that you have set up at your organization. The other cool thing about this webinar today is we actually just released our newest version of the software, which is SnapStream 7.2, came out yesterday. So you guys are one of the first groups that are ever really going to get to see the SnapStream features that have been added in 7.2, and I'll outline those when we get on top of those as well. If you have any questions, again, about anything that I'm showing you, please don't hesitate to ask at any time. So the SnapStream software works a lot in the same way that your TiVo or your DVR that you have at home, whether it be Comcast or whoever you happen to have, it works in the same sort of way. It's recording content, and generally speaking, it's going to be recording content 24 hours a day. You can see here that we're just past 2 o'clock in Houston, and this is my live TV bar showing you where we are in live TV. If I go a little bit further down, you can see all the different channels that I have access to here. Anything with a red dot next to it is currently recording. So I'm recording the Shepard Smith episode. I'm also recording NFL Live here. The most important thing to understand about how SnapStream works is that on any shows that I'm recording, I'm actually indexing the entire closed captioning for that show. So I can actually search very specifically through the closed captioning to find very specific mentions on the recordings that I'm looking at. Also, if I click on anything here, in the same way as if I were to hit my info button on my remote, I'm going to get a little bit of metadata about that show. So for instance, if I click on Ratatouille here, you'll get a little bit about what happens on this movie, as well as the actors and actresses that are a part of that. You get all kinds of little metadata here. Now we're also indexing that metadata, so we can search on that. If I wanted to find only shows that included Patton Oswalt, I could search just on the name Patton Oswalt, for instance. So it makes it very easy to actually look very, very specifically through the recordings that I've recorded to find that content. Now, the most important thing to understand is that that you need to be able to record. You need to record the shows in which you're going to want to be able to search on. We do index the metadata for all the shows, but the closed captioning, we're only indexing the shows on which you're recording. Now, we can set up our recording schedule very easily by clicking on the shows that we want to record. So for instance, if I wanted to record this episode, which I'm not currently recording, I can click on it, and I have all my recording options. Again, this is going to be very familiar if you have a DVR at home, where I can say record this episode, record all episodes, record all new episodes, and so on. The only button you wouldn't have at home is this last one that says record everything on this channel. So if I wanted to record everything that happens on this channel 24 hours a day to make sure I'm not missing a single second of what happens, I can go ahead and click that button and make sure I'm recording that channel 24 hours a day. Now once I've made my recordings, I can actually come in here into the library and see any of my in-progress or finished recordings. I can go down here, see all the different shows. Again, anything with a red dot is currently recording. If I go a little bit further down, you'll see these are all finished recordings because they don't have a red dot next to them. So I can click on a finished recording, or I can click on an in-progress recording, and I can jump right into that recording. So we're going to jump here into General Hospital. I don't know if there's any General Hospital fans here, but we're broadcast hour. I'm going to pause here and just make one quick mention that you may see a little bit of a lag on the video when I'm playing this back. That's simply due to the GoToWebinar application. When you're watching it on your computer, it's going to be lagless and be essentially the same as if you're watching it on TV in front of you. Now, you can see we're about 7 minutes into the hour here, and it is adding up as we go. So this is, again, an in-progress recording. You can see on the left of my screen is my show, and on the right of the screen is going to be the closed captioning for this show. You can see the entire closed captioning on the right side. If I go down to the bottom, you can actually see that the closed captioning is going to be updated in real time as it's being set on television. So you can see that that's being updated as we go here. Now, the really cool thing about this closed captioning is I can actually click anywhere on that closed captioning to go right to that point in the recording. So if I wanted to, for instance, see where they're talking about Nicholas, and click on that, and it takes me right to that point in the recording. I can jump around very easily.
Just keep telling myself that it was
just by clicking on that content. You can see here again that I am in progress in the recording. I have scrubbing tools on the left side of my screen here to jump around inside that recording as well. The two most important are my skip back and skip forward button, which I can hit skip back to jump back 7 seconds. It'll push me back 7 seconds in the recording. Or I can actually hit my skip forward button to skip forward up 30 seconds in my recording. So if I wanted to push forward 30 seconds, I can click it once, and it'll take me 30 seconds into the future. This is good to be able to jump around a little bit, get to the point that's most important to you, and then be able to make your clips at that point. I can even be doing this in live television as it's playing back. I can skip forward or skip backwards, however I want. Now that 7 seconds and 30 seconds is the default, but you can change that to whatever you want it to be. We also have a rewind and a fast forward button here, as well as a skip to start button, which will take us to the top of the broadcast, like I showed you, as well as the skip to end button, which will take us either to the end of the broadcast if it's finished, or to live TV if we're watching something that's live. You can see that we're about a second behind what's airing live right now on ABC. And it is following along with the closed captioning in real time. Now on the right side of my screen here, I'm going to pause this again. On the right side of my screen is all of my clipping tools. The top three are going to be my most important three buttons there, where I can go ahead and make a clip. Let's go get to this point, and we can say, okay, I want to make my clip start right here. You can hit that clip start button, and you see it made a little indentation there on the line where the clipping has begun. I can let this play out naturally, or I can use my scrubbing tools, or I can click on the closed captioning to move forward. But whenever I'm at the point where I want to end my clip, all I do is I hit that clip end button right here. You can see I made a 21-second clip with a start point right here and an end point right here. To clip it out, I can really easily hit that clip out button, which is my third button, and I can go ahead and give it a title. I can call this my General Hospital test clip. I can also tag that clip. Let's spell it correctly. There we go. I can also tag that clip however I want to tag it. I can say, okay, this is dramatic. I can also say it's from ABC, or it's a black shirt. However I want to tag that, I can actually search on those tags later by looking by doing a search based on tags, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Then all I do is I clip that out. I hit my clip button, and I'm going to get a little pop-up here showing that the clipping has begun. There it is right there on the bottom right. It's simply that easy to make a clip. Again, all I did was I made a start point, I made an end point, and then I hit the clip button to clip it out. Now, as soon as that's done clipping out, which it's finishing up right now, it's going to be back here in my library, which we were looking at earlier. The library, again, is where my in-progress and finished recordings live. But if you look on the left side of the screen, you can see the option that says All Clips and My Clips. All Clips are going to be able to show me all of the clips that have been created on our SnapStream. My Clips are just the ones that I've created on the SnapStream. There's that General Hospital test clip that I just created. Now I can click right on that and go to that exact 21-second clip that I just created. There it is.
Together once, and he was.
You can see when I clip it out, not only do I get the exact clip, but I get the closed captioning. And if I hit the About button here, you can see any of my tags that I created for that recording, or for that clip, excuse me. And now I can even make a clip here from that clip. I can make a new start point,
Very, very good.
and then make a new end point. and clip that out again. And you can see it even pulls in that the tags that I made earlier. So I can make a clip from a clip if I wanted to do that as well. So it's that easy to make a clip, and that is the most basic function of the SnapStream is making clips. From there, we can do most of the other features that are part of the SnapStream functionality. Now, let's say I wanted to grab this screenshot and repurpose it for some reason, whether it be through social or just for to put in an advertisement or to put in an article. I have a couple of social features here that I want to show you. Social functionality in SnapStream is incredibly easy. It's incredibly easy to grab content from TV, even if that content is airing live and in progress, to grab that content and post it to social or be able to get that content and repurpose it in some way. So if I wanted to, for instance, grab this screenshot, the first button I have available to me is my Capture Screenshot button. I can hit this button, and it'll give me a download option to actually download this exact picture that's in my web player. I hit the download button, you can see it downloads to my desktop, and there's that screenshot from my web player. It's it's as simple as that. It's one button. You get to the point where you want to be, hit that screenshot button, and you can download it right there. Now, I can also hit that screenshot button, get to the point again where I want to make a screenshot, hit that screenshot button, and actually say send as an email attachment. So if I wanted to send this to one of my colleagues or my boss or to a player or whoever it might be that I'm dealing with, I can actually come in here and put my email address in there, or the person I'm sending it the email address, and send it right to them. And that'll be in their inbox in another 10 seconds. It's really incredibly easy to share a screenshot to whomever you want to send that to. Now, if I wanted to take the same screenshot and post it to social media, it's just as easy. I choose my Twitter or my Facebook button, wherever I want to send that clip. I can hit the Twitter button, choose image, and it's going to grab, again, the exact image that I created earlier. I can choose the account I want to send that to. This is my personal, and this is my work account, so I'm going to choose my work account. And I can say, wow, I love General Hospital. And I don't know if that's their official thing, but I'll post it nonetheless. And I can even add meme text to that image if I wanted to. I can say hashtag General Hospital. I can add that if I want to. I don't have to. But then I can tweet that directly to my Twitter account. It's the same. It's just as easy to post that same content to my Facebook. All I do is I hit the Facebook button. I choose image, and I can post that right there. And all the accounts that I have access to, I can post to. Now, we had a question that just came in. How many different social accounts can you register? There's actually no limit to the amount of social accounts you can register. I'm going to show you now how you can set those up. If you click on the top right-hand corner, there's an option here that says Profile Settings. I'm going to click on that. I might open it in a new window here. And there's two options under Profile Settings that are really important. Here's where we can set, like I told you, the default for those skip back and skip forward buttons that are by default 7 seconds and 30 seconds. But if I go a little bit further down, I have my option to add my Twitter, my Facebook, and my YouTube accounts. All I need to do is be logged into the account that I want to send to add to my system, to my SnapStream. Be logged into it, hit Add Twitter Account, and it bounces me over to Twitter to register that account. As soon as I hit Authorize App, it'll come back as SnapStream, and then it's going to be listed there as an account that I can post to. Again, there's no limit to the amount of different accounts you can post to. The only limit is the amount of accounts that you have access to. So I'm going to bounce back here to my General Hospital. You can see really quickly those screenshots that I posted to Twitter and Facebook were live in just a few seconds after I posted them. There's my Twitter post, and here's my Facebook post. So they are live right there. It's incredibly easy, again, to grab that screenshot and post those. To grab video, I'm going to show you really quickly. So we're going to go to a live, rather than this clip that I've been working on, we're going to go to a live recording. So let's go to Let's Make a Deal here on CBS. We can click on Let's Make a Deal, and again, it's going to start me off right at the beginning of the broadcast. But I can hit my skip to end button to go to live TV. So this is what's airing live. It's a commercial right now. But let's say I wanted to grab this and post this commercial to Twitter or Facebook. It's incredibly easy to do that. I'm going to start out the same way that I would make a clip, by making a start point. And again, I'm going to let this play out naturally because it's airing live. But when I get to the point where I want to end my clip, I hit my clip end button. And instead of hitting that clip button, I'm going to choose either Twitter or Facebook. I'm going to hit my Twitter button, and you see I chose video here. On my video, I chose a 7-second clip. It's a 7-second clip here as well. And I can say whatever I want to say as part of my tweet, and then I can tweet that out. Now you'll also notice that you have a queuing option as well. So we'll talk about that in a moment, but you do have the option to queue that post out rather than tweet it out directly. So I'm going to hit tweet on that, and again, it's the same thing if I wanted to post it to Facebook. Choose Facebook, choose video. I can even upload a custom thumbnail, which is brand new in 7.2 if I wanted to do that. But if I don't, I'll just leave it as the first frame, and then I'll hit post. Now the really nice thing, as I pause it here for the ballerina, the really nice thing about this is it's posting this content to my Twitter and my Facebook accounts as a native Facebook post and a native Twitter post. So these are playing back in the exact way that Twitter and Facebook want their videos to be played back on their sites. So they're going to start automatically. They're going to have the audio available to them. You don't have to click anywhere else. You don't have to go to a different page to view it. It's going to start playing back immediately, and it's going to look great in line. The other nice thing is Facebook actually allows us to push their closed captionings with the video. So any of the videos you're posting to Facebook are going to include the closed captioning, which is great for when the users can't actually watch it. Some can't be somewhere where they can listen to audio, but can still follow along with the closed captioning. So those videos are already live as native Twitter videos and native Facebook videos. So let's take a look. Here's my exciting commercial video on my Twitter account.
To help protect yourself from a stroke, ask your doctor about Xarelto.
It's already live on my Twitter account, and the same thing goes for my Facebook. It's already live on my Facebook. By default, you can see there's the closed captioning.
Ask your doctor about Xarelto. There's more to know. Xarelto.
So again, the great thing about this is we can be watching live television, which again, I can hit skip to end, and we're in live TV. I can be clipping things or making a new start point, making a new endpoint, and posting that content in real time to the social media accounts that are most important to me. It's an amazing way to live tweet, live Facebook post events and conversations, and be able to share that content that people are watching in real time. Now the last social feature here, actually two more social features, is again, I made a start point and end point, but it's only 3 seconds. Not a lot of, there's not going to be a lot of situations where you're posting a video that's only 3 seconds. So what you can actually do with something that small is you can actually say Twitter and then choose animated GIF. Now I'm sure a lot of you on this call have made animated GIFs in the past. I'm going to close this one down here really quickly. I've made animated GIFs in the past in Photoshop or Giphy or wherever you happen to make them. This is about the easiest way you could possibly make an animated GIF from live television. I can come in here and choose my resolution, choose my frame rate, choose my speed, even slow things down or speed things up, and even add meme text if I wanted to do that directly to my image. I can then go ahead and tweet that GIF out. It's going to actually animate those frames for me. It's going to create that animated GIF, and then it's going to post that live to my account in just a few seconds. It's again a very, very easy process to grab content from your television, from the shows that are most important to you, make GIFs, and get them posted immediately. There's no downtime between the amount from grabbing something live, making a start point, making an end point, hitting that Twitter button, and choosing the GIF button. Twitter actually will allow you to post up to 15 megabyte GIFs, so that's quite large. So this is a very high resolution, high frame rate GIF, and you'll see in a moment that it looks really, really great on Twitter. Again, it's incredibly, incredibly easy to post that content as a Twitter post, Facebook post, or even post that content to YouTube. If I wanted to post to YouTube, all I do is I make that start point, end point, do my standard clip function, and say clip and upload to YouTube. From there, it's going to give me all my options as if I was in YouTube to categorize it, choose its privacy settings, as well as tag it and give it a description. Excuse me. So that's the majority of our social functionality. If you have any questions, please ask them now. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have while we go ahead and take a look at this GIF that we created here. I can bounce over to Twitter where I can take a look at the GIF. So again, it's not the most exciting GIF in the world, but it is a GIF nonetheless that we made in just seconds in SnapStream. Now, one last feature here is that we have our tweets tab on our shows that are airing currently live or have aired within the last 3 hours. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to pull in tweets about people that about the shows that you're watching, whether it be the official hashtags for the show or the official handles for the show. It's immediately going to pull that content in. Now, the really cool thing about this is, as you can tell, there's not a ton of people tweeting about let's make a deal right now, but there are a few, as you can see here. What you can actually do is actually snap right to the moment that that person was looking at when they tweeted. So there's 2 minutes and 22 seconds, or 2:22 p.m. and 19 seconds. I can actually respond to that person, snap to that exact moment, and respond to that person with the same content that they're looking at. So I can grab the image, I can make a GIF, I can grab the video, and I can respond to them in real time with that content. It's a really cool way to have a conversation with the people that are either watching your shows or talking about the same things that you're talking about, and make new content in real time to have that conversation with them. So you can see that response tweet is already live on my Twitter account as well. So that's the standard social functionality. The last thing I want to show you with regard to social is up here on the top right corner, where I can have a social media dashboard. What this allows me to do is actually to queue content up to be able to be posted on Facebook and Twitter. So these are just, you can tell these are test posts, but what these will do is I can actually make GIFs, grab screenshots, grab video content. Not only can I view it here, make sure it looks perfect, I can also edit those posts, change the accounts that they're sending to, change the context, or even schedule those posts to be sent later. If I want this post to go live at 3:30 this afternoon, I can set that timer for 3:30 and save it then. Same thing goes with Twitter. You can queue up content to be able to be posted later in the day, as well as to make sure that it looks great for you. And I even have the option here to come say here and post that now. So the last thing that's really nice here about the social media dashboard is that we actually give you a little bit of analytics on the back end, where I can see, okay, well, what content is working the best. You can see these are mostly test posts, but you can see, okay, how many posts did this, how many retweets did this get, how many likes did this get, how many views did this get. Now, if there's something that really worked on Facebook, like this post right here, I can actually cross-post that to Twitter by hitting the Twitter button. It's going to grab the same content that I had here previously on my Facebook, and I can tweet that directly to my Twitter account as well. So it makes it easy to see what kind of views you're getting, what kind of retweets and likes you're getting on those posts, and actually cross-post that content. So that's the social media functionality of the SnapStream software. There's a handful of things here that I want to show you in addition. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to ask them now in the questions field of GoToWebinar. Be happy to answer any questions that you have. Close these out for just a moment. Now, our system, the bread and butter of what we do is our television search. We make it easy so you can find what we like to call a needle in a haystack of thousands of hours of recording that you have on your SnapStream. The most basic functionality is the search functionality. So I can say, for instance, I want to find where Trump is mentioned on my SnapStream. Now, you can imagine I'm recording 30 channels. I currently have 43,383 recording search results for the word Trump. Most recent was during Bloomberg Markets 22 minutes ago. They said the word Trump right there. Now I can click right on there, and it's going to take me right to that exact media mention if that's the one that I want to go to.
This is it. And you know, I hope you will talk to any of your
friends. It will give you about 5 or 10 seconds worth of context before it hits on the exact mention that I'm looking at, so I know what they're talking about when I click on it.
Friends vote for Trump.
So there's the mention that I clicked on. Now, I could have someone sit there for a year and they may not get through 43,384 mentions of Trump. So I can use what's called Boolean search terminology. It's simply the way you search Google. And statements, or statements, negative statements, putting things in quotes if I want to be specific, for instance. So I can actually say, you know what, I only want to find clips that mention Trump and Clinton. Now from 43,000, it's going to bring me down to 14,000, which is still a heck of a lot, but it is a little bit more specific. Now I can continue to be more specific and say, you know what, I want to find Trump and Clinton and taxes. And it's going to find only mentions of Trump and Clinton and taxes. Now we're down to 1,100 that mention those 3 words. But you know what, I want to be even more specific, and I only want to find where they're saying the term Hillary Clinton, and I can put that in quotes and say Trump and Hillary Clinton and taxes. Now I'm down to 630 mentions. I can even say, you know what, I don't want to see where the word Bill is mentioned in the same recordings. I don't, you know, I only care about Hillary Clinton, not Bill Clinton in this scenario. So from 629, it gets rid of another 25 where they're mentioning Bill in the same context. And I can even be as specific as I need to be to get down to as few as mentions as I need to. So I'm going to add and Ohio, and now I'm down to 21 mentions that mention Trump, they say the word Hillary Clinton, they mention taxes, they don't talk about Bill, but they're also mentioning Ohio. And 24 minutes ago, there's a clip that hits on all those different features, different parts of the search query, where on CNN Newsroom, they said 30% minimum tax, Trump, Hillary Clinton, and Ohio. It found all those exact media mentions. Now I can click right on it again and go and clip that out or do whatever I want to do with that content at that point, whether it's clip it, push it to social, whatever I need to do, I can do it at that point. Now the really cool thing here too is that I'll show you if I can here that our system actually has pronoun recognition. So I can do a search for something like Clinton and you'll see it's highlighting she and her. So even though I wrote the word Clinton, it knows that those times that they're saying she, her, hers, herself, and so on, it's actually mentioning Clinton. So I'm not going to miss any media mentions just because they may not actually say the word Clinton or say the word Hillary or whatever it might be. It's going to find any media mentions that hit on the pronouns of the mentions that I'm looking for. Now we have all those Boolean search terminology you can use, but we also, as you've seen here, when I click on this, we have all kinds of search qualifiers to help you search inside your recordings as well. We can search really specifically by category, by channel, by call sign, by date, for instance, to find just the content that's most important to me. So I might say, you know what, I only want to find on my local CBS affiliate, which is KHOU, I only want to find mentions of the Texans, which again, we're in Houston here. So it's going to search just on KHOU for the word Texans. And you can see here's 2 hours ago on our noon news broadcast where they're talking about the Texans. I can even come in here and use an additional qualifier like date, for instance. And I can say, I can put in a date if I want to put in a date, which is 8/17/16. Or I can even come back here and say, you know what, I want to search today, yesterday, this week, this month, however I want to search, whatever the date range is. I can come in here and search for that. So now I'm just looking on the CBS affiliate for the word Texans that happened yesterday. And now you can see there's 23. So there's where they're talking about Texans with 40% chance of rain, for instance. So it makes it very easy to find content very, very specifically inside my recordings. Now you might have wondered how shows like Last Week Tonight or The Daily Show or sites like Politico are finding content from all the late night shows. You can actually come in here and do a category search and say, you know what, I only want to find certain types of shows. So maybe I only want to find comedy shows that's mentioning the term Donald Trump. I can put that in quotes. And you'll see by doing this search, I actually can come up here and say, okay, well, here's my Trevor Noah mentions, and there's my At Midnight mentions. There's another Daily Show. There's Tosh.0, and there's James Corden. So it just shows me comedy shows, for instance, that are hitting on the mentions that I'm looking for. Again, it's just another way to be even more specific. Now, we can use all kinds of different qualifiers, like actor, for instance, if I only wanted to find where George Clooney was mentioned in the metadata, I can do that, and it's going to show me all those recordings that I have that mention George Clooney. Again, I can use all kinds of qualifiers to be very specific about the content that I'm looking for. I also have this little drop-down arrow that I can click on and say, well, you know what I'm looking for is the word Houston the term Houston Texans, and I only want to look on the NFL Network for Houston Texans mentions between a certain day, for instance, 15th and the 18th. And I can actually search on that, and it's going to fill in that exact query for me. Here's what the text I'm looking for is Houston Texans. I'm looking on NFL Network, and I'm looking within a certain range of 15th to the 18th. And you can see here's my 35 different mentions that mention the Houston Texans. So that's, again, another option is this drop-down arrow where you can fill in all this content, or you can fill in each section here, and it'll fill in that search query for you to help you find the clip that you're looking for. If you have any questions about anything I've shown you up till now, go ahead and go to the GoToWebinar application. Ask your questions. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about anything I've shown you this far. We do have a few more things I'd like to show you before we wrap up. The first one is going to be alerts. Now, alerts are one of the basic functionality of SnapStream, but it's incredibly, incredibly powerful. I can set alerts to actually alert me on any mentions that are important to me. So I can say this is my, Eric's, daily alert, and I can put my email address in here. Now I can send this to a group of people, or I can send it to myself. I can send it to whomever I want to send it to. I can even choose the frequency of how often I want to receive these alerts. Now I'll choose daily because I called it daily, but I can do every hour, every other hour, weekly, however often I want to get this. And I can even say, you know what, I want this at 8 a.m. when I get into the office. And then I can choose the terms that are most important to me, that I always want to be alerted to if they're set on television. So for instance, I could say the first one I want is Trump and taxes and Clinton. Second one is, we'll make this more specific so it's not quite so long. Second one is Houston Texans and JJ. Third one is rain and Houston, because it's been raining here the last few days. I can set that alert now by hitting save. I'm going to test this to show you what this looks like. And in just a few moments, I'm going to have a digest in my inbox of all those mentions. Now, it's already there. I'm going to pull my email across here so you can see what this looks like. It shows you all these different mentions that hit on the exact search terms that I'm looking for. So the first one that I did was Trump and taxes and Clinton and Ohio. Again, we saw 30 minutes ago on Brooke Baldwin. It hit on all those exact mentions. And go a little bit further down, and we'll see my second search term, which was Houston Texans and JJ. Shows 24 hours ago on NFL preseason football, they said Houston Texans. They also were talking about JJ Watt. Now again, even though this is in my inbox, I can still click on it, and it's going to take me right over to SnapStream to that exact mention of JJ Watt in the Houston Texans game. So from there, I can clip that out. I can do with that content whatever I want to. And again, if I go a little bit further down, you'll see my final mention, which was rain in Houston. It's a long email, so I could click can view entire message, and I can see the rest of it. Well, but you get the picture of how that works. So it's a very nice way to be able to be alerted every single day about the terms that are most important to you. If you find yourself doing the same search inside SnapStream every single day, I'd recommend you don't do that. You can actually set an alert up and have the system do that searching for you. It's a great way to keep on top of the things that are most important to you. Now, one of the things that I keep for last is one of the most powerful features of the SnapStream software. It's called cloud sharing. What I can do is I can make a clip of any content that's on my SnapStream. So we're going to make a clip here of New Girl. And we'll go ahead and make a few second clip here, make a start point. All I do is I go ahead and click my start point. I get to the end where I want to end my clip. And I'm going to hit my clip end button, or my clip button, excuse me. From there, I can give it a title. I can say New Girl Wedding. I can tag it as I normally do, say New Girl or Zoe, however I want to tag that clip. But instead of hitting that clip button, I'm going to actually choose clip and. Now you remember that I showed you this is where we can say upload to YouTube, but there's also a couple of different options here. We can say add to playlist. We can make a playlist out of clips. We can also make an animated GIF here without posting it to social. We can choose Show Squeeze, which will transcode it to a different file format. The button that I want to show you, though, is Share via SnapStream. What this is cloud sharing. So I can put an email address or even a group of email addresses for whom I want to send this clip to. I'm going to send it to myself in this instance, and I'll say, take a look at this. I can choose the duration for how long I want this clip to live live in the cloud, anywhere from 7 days all the way up to nearly 6 months at 180 days. And then I'm going to hit that clip button. Now it's going to clip that out of the full recording, but it's also going to do a couple of additional things. And you can follow along here on the bottom right as it happens. The first thing that it's going to do is going to clip it out, and then it's going to transcode it to an MP4. As soon as that transcoding is done, it's going to send that clip to the SnapStream cloud. And once it's in the cloud, it's going to send me an email because I put my email address in there where I can then watch that clip in the cloud. Now, there's a couple of reasons that's fantastic. The first reason is because the person you're sending this to doesn't actually have to have access or even know what SnapStream is. You can actually you can share these clips to whomever you want, as long as you have their email address, and they're going to be able to click on that link and watch that link in the cloud, watch that clip in the cloud. Because we transcoded it to an MP4, it's actually going to play back on an iPhone, it's going to play back on an Android, it's going to play back on an iPad, on a computer, whatever the person you're sending it to is viewing it on, they're going to be able to watch that clip. The other thing is that we don't actually limit the length of clips you can send to the cloud. So you can send clips all day long if that's your workflow and share clips with whomever you want to share them with. And they're going to be able to watch those clips in the cloud again. Now I just received this email. It's just finished clipping and sharing. And this is what it looks like. Now the other really nice thing is that because it's just a link here, it's not actually taking up any space in my inbox. If I were to send a clip, an 11-second clip, it could be 30, 40, 50 megabytes taking up space. This is taking up no space just because it's a link. I can click on that link and go directly to the cloud. It's a little loud, sorry about that. And watch that exact clip that I created. It's the exact 10-second clip, including the closed captioning. And I even have a download button where I can download that clip to my desktop. Because I transcoded it to an MP4, it's going to play back. It's going to be an MP4 already. It's going to play back in whatever I prefer to play back MP4s in. So it's an incredibly powerful way to share any content that's on your SnapStream with whomever you want to send it to. There's a million reasons why you might want to do a cloud share, but it's very, very easy to do. Again, all I do is I make that start point, make that end point, hit clip, and then choose clip and share via SnapStream. You can see it took 1 minute and 30 seconds total to be able to send that clip and have it in my inbox. And again, I could send that clip to whomever I want. That's cloud sharing. Again, it's a powerful feature of the SnapStream software. If you have any questions about cloud sharing, please go ahead and ask them now. The final two things that I want to show you here are two additional features of SnapStream you may have some use for. Under Library, again, where my in-progress and finished recordings live, I have the option on any recording to hit the closed captioning button. So we'll go to gymnastics here at the Rio Olympics and look at the closed captioning. So this is the entire closed captioning of that show that's happened thus far. Now, I can really easily come here and copy and paste that and have the entire transcript available to me if that's what I wanted to do. I also have the option here to click here, make a start point, click here, make an end point, and actually clip the video out from the transcript view. It's just another way you can make clips if you prefer to do it that way. I could even clip it out and cloud share to myself in that same way while from the transcript view mode. The other really cool thing about this transcript view is that the last thing that was said when I loaded this page up was the word there as well, the term there as well. Now I can click refresh, which I'm going to just hit my refresh button on my keyboard, and anything that's been said since I loaded this page is going to then show up. You can say it says she sticks it, you know, so-and-so. Anything that's been said up until that point will then show up. Now the last tool here that I want to show you from the library is our multi-view functionality. Now I can click here on this little 4-corner box here, on up to 4 recordings that are part of my SnapStream. These can be recordings that are in progress or are finished. I can click on whatever 4 that are important to me. And I got 3, and there's my 4th. You can see as I did that, it added them up here to my multi-view. You can see each one. There's Rio Olympics, there's General Hospital, that's another Rio Olympics feed, and this is MLB regional coverage. Now I can click play on this and actually get a multi-view of all 4 of those recordings at the same time. This is great to be able to, I'm going to mute the audio here, give me just a second. This is a great option to be able to view what's happening on multiple channels. It's excellent for news organizations that want to be able to see what is NBC or what is MSNBC doing, what is Fox doing, what is CNN doing, and compare and contrast those shows all at the same time. Now I can even go to live television here, which is what I'm doing on the top left-hand corner, and see we're in live TV right now. I can actually sync up all 3 of my other recordings, and now we're in live TV on all 4 of these recordings. So these are all 4 channels. These are all live TV. This is exactly what's airing live on those channels. And then I can view that content back. I can even clip here in each individual recording, make clips, push to social. I can choose my audio really easily too. I'm on audio on the left-hand corner right now. Now right-hand corner. Now bottom left. Now bottom right. So I can be paying attention to all 4 recordings at the same time. It's a great way to actually be able to view that content in real time, see what channels are scooping whom or how they're covering the same breaking event. There's a million different reasons, again, why you may want to use the SnapStream multi-view functionality. So that is our wrap up here of the social media functionality the entire functionality for beginners of the SnapStream software. Now, I'm available here for as long as people have questions to continue asking questions, to answer your questions. We have some colleagues of mine as well standing by to answer any questions that you have. I want to let you know you can always reach out to me. My name is Eric Cohn. I work here as the Customer Success Specialist at SnapStream. You can reach out to me with whatever questions you have, just at Eric, E-R-I-C, at snapstream.com. I am here to answer any questions you have. I can also lead a session for your group if you'd like. That is what I do, and what I'm best at. I love talking to our end users about how they use the software. With that, I'm going to end the webinar here. But we'll be standing by for any questions you have. I appreciate you being on the call, and I look forward to speaking with all of you soon. Thanks.